All right, calling the meeting to order, 6:03. First agenda item is to approve the minutes from November 29, 2023. Sounds like a long time ago. Was it really? That was last meeting. It's a while. Wow. That's what it says right there.
Meeting in January.
So, yeah. Okay, oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong line here. January, okay, January 24th, 2024. Did everybody get a chance to? I looked at it back then. I looked at it back then too. Accept them.
I'll second that.
Discussion or amendments? All those in favor signify, or approving the minutes signify by saying aye. Aye. Any nays, abstentions? Okay, so we have application 2452C, Common Flame Collective LLC. Conditional use, 1225 Vermont 15, Wolcott, Vermont, used to be the Cedar Guy. It was sold and is being used, space for lease. The space would be used for 900 square feet of office space for mental health and substance use therapy. 33 offices, owner is Common Flame Collective LLC. It's the created version.
So I'm the company that's going to be leasing from Common Flame. So I 15 East Collective is the company that started, and so we'll be doing the counseling out of that facility.
Okay, so I'm guessing you're the only one here representing. So I just gotta swear you, do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and pertains to penalties of perjury? I do. Okay. So your Collective Flame is the LLC, but does Cedar Guy, what was his name? Forget. Cleveland is still the owner of the.
No, so the Common Flame Collective is the Wadle family. So it's the same as the Slice of Earth and the cidery that's there.
Yeah.
They bought that from Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
And so they're the owners of all of that now.
Gotcha. And Common Flame is leasing space. No, Common Flame is the.
They're the owners, so
Okay.
we realized afterwards, it's like my company's 15 East Collective and they are Common Flame Collective, so we were like, oh, that's of course, once they get complicated after that. So yeah, they're the Common Flame Collective is the owner of the Slice of Earth, the cidery that's there, and now the Cleveland building, this what used to be Cleveland, or the Cedar Guy.
Okay.
So that's their overall company that owns those properties.
Okay. So. And it's three offices. Any other, is there like a layout in here, or is that just a?
There isn't, but it's his office was a 14 by 21 waiting room, but we're gonna be using as a waiting room. And then there are 3 offices that are 10 by 14. And then a really small, I think about 10 by 10, just like communal space to enter in from the waiting room into the offices. And so, and then a bathroom off of the waiting room that was already pre-existing.
The entire building? Or is
Nope.
That's part of it. I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, they're keeping part of it for storage and for doing some of their own processing of jellies, honeys, things like that for themselves.
Does anyone have any other initial clarifying questions or? I skipped down to the conditional use criteria.
All the renovations are gonna take place on the inside. You guys aren't really changing.
Yeah, then nothing on the outside, just inside. So there was pretty much one big open room minus his office. And so we're just taking that big room and dividing it up.
All right, so we'll just go through conditional use standards and if people have questions as we go through the criteria. So the first one is the capacity of existing or planned community facilities or services. So that's basically the demand on community services that result from the development. For example, school capacity, water, sewer, emergency service, rec facilities. It's not a single home. So, yeah, capacity on, I'm not anticipating this is going to grossly affect the traffic in and out, the emergency services. I mean, I'm assuming it's not going to have a higher emergency service requirement, people there to get treatment and.
So we're just doing outpatient, so if it was emergency services, but even where I work now for the last 8 years, I can think of once that police have come, and that's right in Morrisville by the public hospital, so, and that's with a staff of 20. So I don't foresee that ever being a huge increase to anything along those lines.
Anyone else have questions about those?
The only thing I have is, if somebody has gone through the design flows for the wastewater to make sure that the 3 office spaces would be met with the capacity of the wastewater, if that's a permitted system and if it's not a grandfathered system. I'm not sure how old that building is.
So that's not under our purview.
The wastewater,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's completely under the state.
been there for a long time, right?
2006 is what I think I was told for that building, at least when they knew.
So even though it's not under our purview, if we were to approve the conditional use and they were just, this has nothing to do with you, but just if we were to approve the change of use and didn't see to it that they met the design flows, that's not on us, that's on the state to be honest.
That's the state, it's a change of use, if it's a change of use.
Yeah, if somebody was putting in like, I don't know, like. More like food prep, you know, like they got their canning going on, that would probably definitely, the state would be putting requirements. I think office space is pretty low, right?
Yeah, it's extremely low.
It is, but you know, so was retail,
Right,
so,
yeah,
you know, that's up to the state to figure that one out.
yeah, I guess if the property leaser or owner wants to go that route, then it's on them to. The second one is existing pattern of use of development in the area affected. That's design, location, scale, intensity of the proposed development relative to the surrounding neighborhood. Surrounding areas likely to be affected, but not limited to properties within sight or sound. Existing pattern is distinctive traits, qualities, attributes. And then basically it's like the neighborhood, so. I don't really see it grossly affecting the character of the neighborhood. I mean, there's retail right next door, so it's, people are kind of in and out already in that general area.
Yep, they've got the road that you can access from their farm stand all the way around, so traffic flow if needed.
So you can, I look when I go by, so you can pull into a slice of earth and not touch 15 and get over into the cedar.
Yep. There's a whole route around road that it gets used quite a bit, like I've seen a couple times that I stopped, I set internet up there. People will pull into the Cedar Guy and drive around, or people, oh, yeah. Oh, they don't have the road on there.
It's too old, yeah.
It is, there's a road that wraps right around to it. I guess you can kind of maybe see it, but it's definitely more. So
Is it right here?
Yeah, it's definitely more pronounced now, like it's a full out road.
Yeah, so satellite doesn't have it, but it's actually marked in Google.
And none of that stuff is there anymore, right where your mouse is. Digital road, there we go.
So it's.
Okay. Anyone have questions about the character of the neighborhood being affected? Number 3 is traffic. We kind of talked about that. Just impact of traffic resulting capacity, safety, efficiency, use of affected public roads, bridges, and intersections. I don't really see any, I don't have any concerns. Any other bylaws now in effect? None that I know of. Utilization of renewable resources. Yeah, I don't think that, they don't have solar panels on anything over there, do they?
I talked to, I think it is Marlon Waddle, the pastor.
Yeah.
Who owns the house right next door, and he said someone actually stopped to talk to him about solar, but, they haven't gone that route yet.
And then some specific ones would be the capacity of the site to support the proposal. Don't have any concerns about site being able to handle 3 offices. The second was scenic natural or irreplaceable areas. It's obviously not in any of those. Water and air quality. It's not like you guys are running an industrial business. I mean, there's from a couple cars pulling in and out, I don't really see air quality or water quality effect. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the list. So I guess usually we kind of try to nail down like hours of operation, days of operation, you know, how many months a year, that kind of thing. Tom will kind of jot that stuff down. So hours of operation,
So hours are gonna be generally from 8 to 5, maybe a little bit later at night, maybe going up till about 7, depending on who's using the office space with the therapist on meeting clients' needs. But Monday through Friday, not really doing maybe some Saturday morning hours, but I don't foresee, the person that's, I know doing one of the offices right now, we're just Monday through Friday.
I would say if you plan on potentially doing Saturdays, just throw out like kind of a ballpark, you know, so Monday through Friday, 8 to
8 to 5, 8 to 6.
8 to 6.
Saturday would be from like 9 to noon.
And then year round.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, usually, I mean, there's no lighting is changing, no parking is changing.
We're using all the existing that's already there.
Obviously, you don't need to put up any screening. None of the neighbors are here to complain about anything, so
That's that's all the family, it's all the Waddle family, so.
Is all family.
yeah, I'm kind of tapped out. I don't really have any other questions.
I know, it's one of those things, I was like, I feel like it's pretty easy because. we're not
Usually
doing-
there's more stuff. There's like noise and light and stuff like that, but really none of this.
We're super quiet.
Yeah, I mean, you're inside, you're inside, so.
And we already said like, so my business partner, Mayor Margaret Fondress, and I are coming from behavioral health and wellness in Morrisville. And so we serve a lot of people, Hardwick, Wolcott, you know, Morrisville, Hyde Park, and Lamoille County in general, a little bit into some other counties. And so we just wanted to stay in Lamoille County and continue to help people just run our own business. So.
I would entertain a motion to approve the change of use with the hours of operation that we listed.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion or questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The abstentions? There we go.
Is there anything else y'all need from me?
I don't, Tom, is there anything else you need?
No, I will send you a copy of everything when it's signed.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you all. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Look forward to continuing our updates. Good luck with the rest of your meeting.
Yes. All right. So, and John and Tracy,
Yeah,
they,
they have a new plan for their
are they
subdivision.
gonna come in or?
I told them it might not be at 6:30, but I told them I have right now here.
For us?
We're ready.
Good Some of the map,
The application.
that's it. Yeah.
Um, So I don't know if you need to officially open this, it's just, this is an official application, right? So, yeah, it's just a sketch plan review.
So we can. Have you looked at the? This is Have you looked at the boundary line adjustment that was involved in this?
Have you looked at the boundary line adjustment on this one?
That was involved with this?
There's no boundary line adjustment on it. You're looking for a subdivision.
Right. But is this a?
We added 6.17 to the 4.2, it was the boundary line adjustment.
I asked him to explain it.
I redid it.
Recently or years ago?
Year ago, maybe. Right here. This was the original 4.2. And we added to 6.7 to 1.7.
So this is all one lot now?
It is now.
Okay.
What we want to do is we want to come off Town Road 38. This is the driveway to our house now. Right here on the corner. Let's go up, 50, 75 feet up this boundary line. Bring it back through 4.2. And do a subdivision for here and here. 3 lots, I guess you have to have 3 lots. And Wolcott.
So what's interesting here is,
So that would have
this
been
was a subdivision
On a
review
road?
last time.
On a private road? you mean?
yeah, a private road, just 2. So this one would be enough.
Yeah.
Well, that's even better.
So this right of way would have to give 150 feet of road frontage to this. So it's either gotta go up into it or
Yeah.
turn or.
Oh, there's plenty of it. I could do 2 lots and still have 150 each. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, these are the markings, it's a scale, give you an idea.
That new private road wouldn't act as a subdivision boundary for a smaller lot where it runs through the middle like that.
Yeah, I don't think a private road.
I guess it'd be a
would.
town road. Yeah.
And this private road will become the main access point for this particular lot. So that is
For this lot.
well, so it has to be the main access point to 2 lots. That's where the 2 lots is. So, any development on this particular lot. Actually, that driveway should come off this. Because right now, this is your driveway.
Yeah.
I don't know if it means you can't have 2 accesses.
Yeah, I think you can keep both of them, right? I don't see why you wouldn't be able to.
Last time we tried to come between
Right.
here, they were too close, too close.
Can you, these boundary lines here are 25 feet or more from each building. The center of the boundary line,
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah,
because there is that setback.
Yeah.
From the road.
So the yellow is the existing parcel.
yes, yeah. We
And this-
started with this, and we cut it down.
But this is also yours?
No.
No, okay, gotcha,
Yeah,
right,
that's my brother's.
okay, different property.
Yeah, we were trying to move between him and us, but there weren't enough room.
So it's 1, 2, 3, you're saying?
Well, I thought we had to have three, but if we only have to have two, that's even better. So I'd rather not have to do a third or a second.
So that's why you're saying, Jim, if they come in here far enough to get to 150 feet,
Right.
it would be enough for that second lot back there.
Yeah, right.
Because if there was a third lot, it'd have to go.
Another 150. Right, which it would be if I had to do that, but I'd rather not have to subdivide this one. I'd rather have it just.
So I believe our zone regulations are, has to serve 2 or more lots.
Yeah, I thought it was 3 for private road.
I think if it serves 3, it has to be a private road.
Oh,
Yeah.
If
You have
it
to
serves
upgrade.
2, it can be a private road.
Yeah,
We also have to name the road and have 911 addresses off that road, which means that your house and garage should have a 911 address off that private road.
Both be the same or two different? Two different 911s?
No,
For this,
if this is the main access for this lot,
Yep,
then your 911 address would be off this road.
whatever that private road gets named,
Right.
oh, okay,
you would be one new road or whatever,
right.
the next one would be
Yeah.
3.
Not a problem.
this here. Is this an existing town road?
No,
That's off a private road.
That's off. That's off, this is the town up here, it's a corner right here. And it's basically, it's a 50-foot right away between my neighbor and me, and it works as a snowmobile trail too.
And so you're crossing. Is that your neighbor's land on both sides of that right?
No, just this side.
So does this boundary, does this road go right along the boundary?
Yeah, it says right here, the center of the road.
This boundary line, so it's not actually the
No.
street.
Oh, okay, all
I
right.
That did that, I don't know why.
So the yellow line really goes up the middle of that road.
Yeah, this is actually the line halfway through that road. With the 50-foot right away.
And that road continues up to.
Yeah, it's a snowmobile trail and then becomes right here, it becomes Jason Patsol's like all of this. He bought it from us a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Mhm.
This is the one that goes up to the fields and stuff.
Goes up, well, that's the main, that's Town Road 38, Corley Road.
it's Corley.
Yeah,
I'm just looking here and I know that there's a.
Yeah.
A radius of curvature we need to meet too, right, for that.
It's underneath the town road standards, so when you do a private road, it has to be built to. The town highway standards. Which is, that doesn't mean you have to build a class 3 road.
I was gonna say, what the hell?
But it goes by the number of vehicle trips per day. And some of that, most of that is how many houses are on there.
Where do I get that information from?
It's on the town website.
Yeah, it's what it says, the town
The highways.
road and highways ordinance.
Yeah.
Okay,
So. I'm just thinking a little bit about emergency services here. When we get. Like I'll volunteer with the rescue squad a little bit. When we get calls, they go to the 911 addresses.
Right.
And we'd be driving up through here, going right by your house, going up here, theoretically going up here. And
so this would be eliminated?
But if he's only serving one lot, would he need to? That new private road that he's talking about, could he give a right of way through that 4 acres to get to the one lot? Because last time they were here, we talked about not having enough room for that 100 feet that they needed. Just to serve the
50
one,
feet.
or 50 feet, plus the, whatever it was.
Well, so he needs frontage on a public or private road. It can't just be a 50-foot right of way. The public or private road has to have a 50-foot right of way,
Right.
but it's completely different than just putting out a right of way.
And your road frontage is right here.
For this lot, yes. But, you know, you need road frontage for this one too, and that's what the private road is all about, because if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't need a private road.
The only thing I'm thinking is, does his 911 address that cuts through that 4-acre lot, does he need to abandon that? Or can that road just cut through and serve just that single lot? Serve the 6.
Well, so that's, you know, that's the question. Our zoning rules do say that it has to be the primary access to that lot.
To both lots or just the one?
To the 2 lots.
Okay.
This one could stay, just like signage indicating that it's like a frontage driveway would have to go away, right? You still use it as access. And then just consider this the primary for, 911 and,
I'm just trying
postal
to think of
service.
a way to make this simpler and easier and more common sense.
It's kind of weird because there really isn't a driveway here. This road just comes up and it's just all open.
Okay, so there's no
There's
driveway,
no driveway
No
though.
real driveway.
but the house and the garage are kind of close
Yeah.
to the road,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah, it's probably maybe 75 feet.
Can you put this road any further down there?
Okay.
At this
Then you'd be
close.
into a workshop.
We need 50 feet from here.
Could this road here be also this road? Could it all be just one road? And then that would give them access,
Right.
here on, if this was all one road, I don't know if this is considered the road. If it's not really existent past this point, then it could.
It keeps going, but that's where I'm turning to go onto this new road. My line is up further.
Just, I don't know, I mean,
Basically a snowmobile trail.
so, yeah, if this whole road starts here,
Right.
then that would give them the frontage here. So it kind of goes down to what, like about here or something, and then like that to the.
Yeah, this right here is, I would consider long, between this line and my house is all long, basically, for the most part, except for it's small. Yeah, just do it. This is the corner. I want to come right off that corner. That's my existing right there. The road would be right here.
Okay.
So right now, that road actually comes out, or that driveway comes out on Corley Road.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm reading 4.02, the access to lots, and I don't see where it's saying that it needs to serve both of those lots. That one private road, that red dashed line, could come in the 150 feet that it needs to into the 6-acre lot and serve just that one. Section 4.02. The only other section it calls out is 4.07, and all that talks about is following the highway standards and allowing emergency access.
Yeah. Is it the one that talks about frontage? Where it talks about like a right of way doesn't constitute frontage, I forget what section that is.
I'm thinking that's an section. Road. In public or private way or right of way which provides or is reserved to provide the principal access to 2 or more abutting properties. And is designed and constructed in accordance with the town of Wolcott highway standards.
But why does it need to serve it? Because there's already an existing parking or driveway access point, whatever, for the 4-acre. Why does it need to serve that one as well?
Because that's where,
If, I think what it's saying is if this becomes a road. But it would only serve that one parcel,
then it doesn't meet the definition of a road.
it would just be, it would be a right of way at that point. It gets like demoted.
And so I'd like to just let you do exactly what you're doing. What if you built a shed here and put a 911 address to it? Which is not unheard of, but.
Just put another house there.
Bring my dad.
Well, there's also the possibility of a waiver.
Yeah,
We just need to be careful because if we grant, well, but if we grant it for this particular situation, we're really specific about how. The reason why we do it, because if we do it for this, we have to do it for anybody in town or anybody in that district that requests the same thing. So
yes.
it would have to say something like if an existing driveway. I don't know, we'd have to wordsmith it in a way that it would keep us from, getting into trouble later down the road.
It's probably beyond me.
It's on page 140. Where it's talking
It
about.
is, yeah.
Okay.
Now, 140 on this. It's good, it's in the definition.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just looking at. There's a breakdown somewhere between that text in my brain that doesn't understand why that needs to serve the existing house, why it needs to serve the 4-acre lot.
It's frontage, I think. Where's front? That's where I think. frontage is-
So what if I was to sell this? Then whoever buys it would have to have their own address.
You can't do,
You still
you
can't
can't,
do it off the.
you can't do
Landlocked.
a landlocked lot.
No, so I got the right of way, the road to put into here, and then say down the road, which I don't plan to plan on, was to sell this. That would be confusing from them to have the both, just to have the same 911 as that.
It wouldn't have the same, it would be different.
So why can't it be now? Because it's the same owner?
No, I think what we're getting at is that this has to be the primary access. And for this to be a road, by definition, it has to serve 2 lots or more.
That's why I do need to subdivide twice.
Well, this would be your two lots.
Okay, yeah.
That's my
So-
point.
I mean, if we didn't want to do any of this 911 stuff here, just leave this one alone.
Cut that 6.
You could build this road into 2 lots out here. You could do that.
You could do
That's
that.
silly, but
Yeah, that's.
That'd be easier.
Well, it's creating
would it be easier?
more lots just to meet a technicality.
But so is building a chicken coop and putting an address on it.
So I think that would serve to confuse things I've never volunteered, I've never done anything with emergency services, but I would think that would confuse. Make things more complicated than they need to be to have just.
It is, we have a hard enough time finding places as it is.
Right, and now you've got an empty building with a number on it.
And driving right by it, there's something really going on, not just somebody sick to their stomach.
So you said something about naming this road. So wouldn't that be part of the 911?
That would be part of the 911.
So you'd be a sign right there.
Yeah. Well, it would be at the start of wherever the road starts.
Right there.
So let's say your house got renamed to.
Does this road have a name?
No.
Let's say you got renamed to 300 private snowmobile trail road. Well, this lot, wherever the building ended up here, could dictate what its address is based on the distance from here, right, to here.
The distance.
The distance on the road is.
911 addresses were related to distance on the other side of the road.
As far as to be able to get through, you mean? I guess I don't quite understand.
So like my address 4243 is 4.2 43 miles from the intersection of Route 15 and Town Hill Road, and it's because it's an odd number, it's on the left-hand side of the road. So it makes it handy to be able to find places, as long as people have their numbers out there.
Right.
As opposed to the old, I had like 2005 downhill road before, and it's like, what does that correlate to? Nothing.
Especially when you're off the beaten path.
Yeah.
So do you name your road?
No, I have a driveway. Addresses.
You signed it, then your address is right at the end of the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though I have a long driveway. But it's a driveway.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those.
So you have 402 feet of road frontage. You could theoretically make 150-foot right of way, or not right of way. 150-foot swath of land out back there, which basically gives you your 150 feet of road frontage. Of course, has to be on a public or private road. Again, if this is just a right of way to some land up here, that's not necessarily a road.
Right. So this doesn't count as road frontage right here?
That does. Well, yes, right here does.
Right.
So that's the other thing. Do you actually have 150 feet of road frontage on Corley Road? Because this doesn't, if this is on a road, a private or public road, then you can't count that as.
From center of the road to this pin? My boundary pin? Oh, more than 50 feet. It's at an angle.
So you won't, yeah, okay, this whole thing is still confusing.
Yeah, just ignore that. The
So-
line is actually
Yeah.
half the road. I
Okay,
don't know why you did
okay.
that.
As long as it's like
Oh, so from over
150
here,
feet.
all the way around
Right. Which, I'm looking at that 402,
Yeah, this.
that's probably close.
Quite already, no.
So turning the red dotted line into a private road would bring it into compliance.
Yes.
Right.
Because we can't make a non-conforming lot in our non-conforming.
So, the thing about it is, even if you extend this up to here and then cut it out 150 feet off that. Then it's still only serving one lot in that case.
That's all I wanted to say.
Well, I understand that, but road has to serve two or more. Or
Why
something.
why is that?
It's just, otherwise it's not a road. It's a driveway.
That only happens if you own two lots, the same person.
No, it happens.
If somebody else has a lot right next to you, you gotta provide a road for them.
Well, no, not necessarily, but that could make it constitute a road. If it serves two adjoining or adjacent lots.
Landlocked parcels is it's trying to avoid a parcel that sits off and has no access to.
Right, and that's why I'm trying to do that, so.
Right.
But what's the address to the larger parcel where the scale is? How do you get to that piece of dirt?
Where's that?
This one up here?
Yeah.
That would be-
Instead of dicking around messing with the address of this existing house.
Mhm.
Could you somehow provide 150 foot of road frontage on this new private road to this lot? That way this address gets to stay the same. And now we're serving two lots. I don't know
It's fine.
I don't know how you get to that.
It's too far here. It's all swamp.
Okay.
It's all wet. But if we put this in, you are serving two lots, and that's what I have. Or will be,
Yes,
once
if
I
you,
subdivide this line.
if you eliminate your current access. And change your address.
This road, just. Your address.
And the highway standards do say something about not having more than one access except for, and there's a bunch of different exceptions and different things, so. Not knowing exactly what those are off the top of my head, there's a chance that you may not be allowed to keep the current access. So not only would you lose the driveway you have, but your address would change. Because now nameless road is where all your mail's gotta go, is where your 911 address has gotta be, and you don't get to keep the on paper, you don't get to keep the access that you currently have. Which is why I'm trying to find a way to have that serve just one, but I just looked up the definitions. You guys are absolutely right. It has to serve two.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I didn't trust you, I just needed to see it.
Can the workshop have a different address? Or is that the divide by lot?
No, actually,
That's not
each
a lot.
each building is supposed to have a separate address.
Can they have different addresses on the same parcel?
Right.
Yes, yeah, and I don't know what the distance apart between them actually, when they're required to have.
If somebody had an accessory dwelling unit,
Like Ron Massey's farm, he had a separate 911 address for his farm than his house. Supposedly,
so you,
but he had all kinds of roads. So I don't know what.
it
he
has
was
been
doing.
done, is the answer, but we're not sure if it's supposed to be done.
But this is gonna come around and then we'll hook up with this.
Yep.
Here. Could that building be addressed on that road to make it two? But this one keep its address on this road. That's just a question I have. You have one parcel. Two different, one address, on three lots.
So-
That sounds messy too.
And then official access would be to the barn or the shop. And then secondary access would be the existing driveway.
I mean, the case could be made that because this road goes so far through this lot, that it is the principal access to this lot, even though buildings are coming off Corley Road. But, I don't know.
Let's say, build a little tiny driveway.
So I'm not even sure that you have to.
Do you have to like put a wall up here?
So what I was just saying, principal access, what is exactly this thing?
Other definitions?
For the property, that's not, this would be the principal access.
This is accessory. This does not have that. Only this.
Which is the case, of most cases, like I've
Oh,
got,
what I'm saying is this might be used for a number. Second. Look,
Does principal access mean you need to use it principally, or it's just designated as principal access and you decide it's there, you can use it if you want, but I choose not to?
yeah.
If principal access isn't defined, then
I would say it goes to the principal building and. And the building, so.
Case, that's, and it kind of,
But either way, all of those things don't make that a second lot, which is what the definition for the private road is. Giving another building an address doesn't create a second lot unless again, I'm confused on the definition.
well, only if the principal access to this lot is on this road.
Correct.
This driveway here kind of confuses the situation.
And it's just a snowplow turnaround. Town guys need a place to back their trucks around.
do.
As long as you write something that can be recorded in the town that says the plow trucks can use that as a turnaround at the end of Corley Road, then I guess the driveway gets to stay. Your address changes to unnamed road, whatever. Now we serve two lots. You just have to bring that 150 feet into the 6 acre.
Oh, it's not broken.
75 feet.
75, yeah, 75 each side. So rather than that dotted line coming in 150 feet, it comes in 75 feet.
Yeah, 75 on that side, 75 on that side.
And that's how you get your frontage.
Oh, one side of the road back down.
Right,
Yeah.
so if you were to come
Just
up
don't
here
pick the
and turn
measurement
it
wheel
90
up.
degrees.
Technicalities, my God.
Well, it is. If you were
Who
to,
wrote up these stupid rules anyway?
Lawyers.
My God, common sense.
Somewhere.
sometimes it makes sense, a lot of times.
well.
So if it did 3 lots, it would be okay?
If he's,
Made 3 lots.
if he made, then this road would be primarily serving these 2 lots.
But
That'd
those,
be the easiest thing.
But then you'd have to go all the way up into here.
or change the shape of those lots and then we get into whether or not the lots conform with our shape requirements, right?
But they're pretty minimal.
Yeah, they're a good rectangle.
So if you subdivided this into 2 lots here, this would all be good the way it is.
Doesn't mean you have to sell lots, you can still own both lots.
Right,
But this-
we're selling this. This is.
But then you gotta build that road up into here.
Unless you
Or change that
continue
blue
to-
line.
Or change the blue line.
Yeah, we just made that there, just, because we thought we had to have 3 lots to do this.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, you can move wherever you want, as long as you got 150 feet per,
in 2 acres.
yeah, no less than 2 acres.
Cause could you? Could you theoretically take? Your lot design, never mind this blue line here, but split them this away. So you got 75 for, we'd have to come 150 feet, you got 150 for this one, 150 for this one.
So big shape lot.
Well, that was the question, if we have,
It's what,
Yeah, that becomes,
Easy to go this way from here.
okay,
you just have to extend that further
But, you
out.
know, you could just do 2 acres in here and just have a little short road to the back one.
I mean, we don't plan on selling it ever. No, I've lived there all my whole life, but we're selling this. I want to keep a piece of my own heritage. I'm not selling.
yeah, but someday, 2,000 years from now.
Oh, yeah, when I'm dead, whoever has it then, it's their problem. But I'm just saying that if I can subdivide, you know, 2 3-acre lots. Will that eliminate all the crap to the 911 crap?
Well, you'd have to do 2 lots up here and have the road frontage.
Yeah. And there's plenty on both. But 150 feet is nothing for that field. Because it's just long and narrow.
yeah, we get a 2-acre lot, like the.
Yeah.
That, and then, so that's lot 1, 2, 3, but dimensional, what is that?
It's only 196 feet wide, so you're gonna be
Oh, yeah.
cutting it lengthwise.
You'd be going pretty far to
It's
get.
narrow and then it goes like that.
Right.
And we actually do the whole, this is the actual field and this is part of the woods.
So 2 acres would be probably that. So it would be twice as long as it is wide,
Yeah.
even though it widens out, it's less than 200, whatever, 202 or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah, because this cuts in fully over here. That's why it's so narrow.
Well, if you're gonna go that route, you can get rid of that line, it doesn't make any sense anymore. You know, you could bring this in here.
Right, I mean, this is already there. It was just a line adjustment before, so probably what we'll do is subdivide that line and then whatever we decide here, as long as we get to 150 feet. The road frontage. So would that considered 2 subdivisions? Is that what they call it?
It's one process.
One process.
Yeah, we did just 2 lot subdivision, because it's 1 lot going into 2.
Acres is here. 200 by 200.
Yeah.
What's that, 1 acre?
200 by 200, yeah.
Hmm.
So this line is what, a boundary line adjustment?
Yeah, originally, we didn't own this, so the line came from this right across the field.
It's not just here, this,
Yeah,
now we have that.
Okay. So
it's all one lot right now.
But you never merged them.
No, it's 2 lots.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'd be a 2 lot subdivision.
Margin. Yeah, you could get rid of the line.
We just want to sell the house, the original 4.2 in the house, is what we're selling. This basically this lot right here. This is what we want to keep from this line back to.
we give you enough to go back to Matt Reed with?
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah,
I don't have.
I just need to know if it's doable.
Insights on how to
That's what
work.
I'm saying.
Just too weird.
That thing Matt has told me before when we tried doing it last time. He's saying that all I'm gonna have to pay for is subdivision. I don't need a septic design and all that crap. He says you only have to do that. You actually go to build.
That's, yeah, that's state.
Okay.
Yeah, you can subdivide a lot and just leave it as field and woods and you can just sit
I
like
just
that.
want to make sure because I'm not gonna spend that kind of money. It's not worth it.
On the other hand, you wanna make sure it perks and you can use it.
Oh, it's perfect. It's all freaking singing. We had it tested down in Waterbury, $400 to have it tested. We want to know if it was mound singing. We dug too deep. We dug down probably 30, 40 feet. He said, actually, the better stuff is at the top. He said, but you got good stuff. So I know it hurt. It's. That's for sure. But like I said, we don't plan on ever selling it. And we don't plan on ever putting it out.
We put a spring out there, so if we wanted to camp or use,
Yeah.
I had ducks at the time. Water.
That's property lines.
So Jim,
This
where's
is parcel there.
in section
This is just what's
405.
current.
permits may be
Oh,
granted
so
for
this is
land
new
use
and
not-
I think this is new.
Permits may be granted for land use not have frontage on public roads
This is
as large as
this-
private access
Right.
available by
It
a
doesn't show
private
the-
permanent easement or right of way. The required easement or right of way shall be at least 50 feet.
So that's under the heading of existing lots, which you really go back up a little bit.
Section
Yeah,
405 is existing.
yeah.
There was some confusion on that
Okay.
back a few years ago.
I feel less bad for still being confused.
It's all French to me.
Still have people come in, I think Roy Marble tried to tell us that, and it's like, no, that's not what it says, Roy.
So they're, you know, something they just like Lori, you know, if they would write English, speak English, might understand it.
So was this connected to all this?
No, it's a simple.
Said that's his brother.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's like, so this has a little strip right.
Yep.
And then there's a separate lot over here.
Yep.
And this is Belinda's land up here.
No, Jason Batchel, all three of us
Oh,
owned it.
okay.
We sold it.
One is, she's. Yeah. Yeah, we owned all of this. We sold 228 acres to Jason. And that's why we kept it 6, if we wanted to keep the field. He's got everything in, he's got all the. And that's actually right here, it's the end of my line, that's when he takes over. He owns all that.
So that subdivision's already recorded.
Yeah.
I'm new to this board, so.
Oh, okay, so this is October 14th, 2022.
Wait a minute. Those were never merged. Isn't that an existing lot then?
This here,
If those were never merged,
well. It could be, was this lot ever like? Its own lot, was it
It was
subdivided?
all part.
So it was subdivided off of
Yep.
here, okay.
Yep.
Now, that only comes into play with landlocked lots that existed before these rules came in.
just these.
Yeah,
So when this lot was sold, it automatically became part of it. They
Yeah,
all became one because that would have created a landlocked parcel.
yeah,
Okay.
that's why we do the line adjustment, to put it into our 4.
Right, okay.
Otherwise, it wouldn't.
well, it would have been locked when you sold it.
Right, yeah.
Separately, otherwise it's assumed to be merged.
right. Yeah. So I guess it's either yes or no.
Well,
Can I do it or not?
well, you
Yeah.
can if your road, so your proposed private road extends down this 50-foot, right? Also comes up, turns up here.
Mhm.
And it goes up and you have a minimum of 2 acres on this lot. And then 150 feet of road frontage into the next lot.
Second, yeah, oh, yeah.
Or the secondary option being you mess with all the 911 stuff, change your to that 4 acre.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Cause more confusion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's easier this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if someone wants to buy the place, they'll be confused.
Well, the road's right there. Why do I have to go up this thing?
Right around the hill. Need 4-wheel drive to make a 50-foot turn, you know? So, yeah, I'll just get a hold of Matt and see when he can do it and go from there. Yeah, I haven't talked to him for a while.
So this road also needs a 50-foot right of way for its entire length.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's plenty on each side. Yeah. It's basically almost, other than this channel, it splits it, basically. So, plenty of road on each side.
Yep. All right, so I guess that's it.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. We appreciate you coming in first.
Well, yeah, I mean, before you hire Matt.
Yeah.
Worked out better for everybody.
You kept that slick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Other business.
So, this Ryan Field,
Yeah.
these are the minutes, these are the conditions. I haven't seen anything that with those conditions on the map.
At all? Is the one for more pond?
So I thought they decided they were gonna move that road around that existing barn and everything.
And you,
That's the last time.
if you showed me a Mylar, but it's still missing the two.
Yeah, that's, so, I don't like it, but I don't have to like it. It's like. That's a lot, maybe.
Because it didn't, in the conditions, one of them was boundary pins weren't called. Something.
The first one is there are no quarter pins on lot three.
Well, this is that city.
Well, but he moved, oh no, this is the old one, there's a new. Tom, you showed me a new one where they moved. Where they moved this. Was it not a Mylar, was it just a?
It's not this. It's just a small thing.
No, this right here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I said they moved,
Yes.
they moved. But the other conditions were,
Well, the pins are. showing-
Access to lot three gets lost in the shaded area.
yeah, they didn't do anything to clean up the.
And then the last one is the road to lot two does not leave a 25-foot setback. So that curve. So that one's covered. So it's the top two.
So the pin, it's showing the pins. I don't know if it's labeling. But details. So. Yep. So. It was one. There, there, those were the ones that were missing. This is the existing one.
So the only thing that gets kind of messy is the fact that that line carries through and is called out with a bearing.
Yeah, that shouldn't be. There shouldn't be a line between that pin and that pin, because it's part of this law.
This solid line right here.
Right.
Why is that line there?
It's been there since, yeah, it's been there since the coast.
Right, it's probably the existing. So I could say probably a lot was like that, but no, it isn't, because this is part of it too.
When they first came in, before they did this, it did do just.
Oh,
that.
okay.
We talked about
I
access.
just never took that out of there. And then, what do they call them, shaded stuff?
All of this in here.
Right, but there's nothing on the map that explains what that is. But there's nothing down here.
I think they might have all of these.
Pond easement.
Oh, that's probably the pond. No, that's the pond easement. I mean, it doesn't, it shouldn't really matter to us that much that they do that, but that line's gonna be gone.
This line,
Yeah,
yeah. And it's making them look like a separate lot.
it does.
And the only. And I mentioned this in one of the other meetings as well. Yes, they have the frontage, but there is with this pond here, and depending on what that cross hatching means. You know, if that's some kind of protected area, are they gonna be allowed to put a driveway and actually access that lot?
That's their problem. We allow people to put lots in that you can't build on, doesn't matter. It's some purpose, it could be just a recreational thing.
Okay.
That's their business.
I just didn't know if in the definition of access, there had to be some kind of vehicular access.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Um,
What about the paving?
That was called out somewhere once upon a
Probably
time.
was called out on.
Did they put it on the notes about the gradient that wouldn't exceed or something?
I think it was.
They wrote it down somewhere.
I saw it somewhere in one of these.
Or they said it wouldn't exceed 8%, whatever the gradient was that they.
See, it hasn't made the official.
They started with the gradient as not steep or something.
Is it called them new? This was the first thing they submitted.
Right.
Like feeding that.
I don't think it was anything about gradients on
No,
that one.
not on this one.
It was a sketch that they sent. That was,
They don't change the dates, or they change something, they should put revised date.
this map is why we're questioning it, because we see all these gradient lines here. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, this is before they gave us this little bump out. And moved their original proposed pond up into it. Did one? The one he had about the poster board, is that where we all saw it? We all, I'm not crazy, we all remember.
I just remember seeing a notation about them conforming to the gradient, it's in the highway. Yeah.
There's a check. Just give me a dozen copies.
It's not in the minutes. But there were units other than this one, right? Where we.
Yeah, this is the one that I remember, the radius curvature was also in play. That's why I remembered it today for this one.
Yeah, because actually that right of way issue came up just before John and Tracy were here last time. Here's your green.
Actually, John and Tracy came up first and you called out their barn in the house and everything. There's a barn here too.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you know. If they create a zoning conflict where they put their road, I mean, is it really up to us to figure all that out? You did. we'll call that one.
Wow, I should stay home.
So these guys,
Something.
so October 25th would have been the first time we saw those guys.
So the road has to meet the road standards, so whether it's in the minutes or not, you know, I'm sure that's in.
That's October 25th. Yeah, it is. So right here on the minutes, it says after Article 1, Wolcott zoning regs, steep slopes of not more than 8% and 10% if paved. And it said did not meet the following requirements for approval at this time, and that was one of the ones listed. But I swore they wrote that they were gonna pave it.
Yeah, it was in one of these larger, it was in one of these larger maps we all got passed.
You're looking at everything,
It's not, I mean, did they take it out? Because they didn't feel like paving it and.
I think maybe they hope we forgot.
Yeah, but it's written right there. Trying for you.
That's right, that 8%, we'll see what it's got.
That is possible. I don't know if it was undetermined what the slope was.
Yeah, it was just, you know, looking at those, you know, contour lines.
I think we brought it up to them saying, hey, if you, this is something that you should take into consideration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looked at that, said he was gonna figure it all out for us, and then came back with a map and he showed, and I can remember seeing that.
Section was gonna be made.
Yes, I remember being surprised, but really pave that.
Yeah, because your commentary on it was pave it or don't pave it, but the subdivision legal until they do.
Right. So we didn't actually,
Leave it here, maybe pick it back or something.
we didn't actually put in the minutes that it had to meet the town highway standard.
Yeah, right, please, and
Was, I would like to say that I had to meet steepness standards, paving, but the road standards themselves are where that all comes from.
Yeah, so we said it did not meet the requirements. We listed the zoning regs of steep slopes and then driveway standards. And then the motion by Jim, seconded by Bruce, was the construction of a private road that meets the standards of, it says Wolcott subdivision regulations, access to lots, and then the slope.
The Wolcott subdivision regulations refer to the highway standard.
Okay, so
and here is where we all saw the existing gravel driveway that's unpaved. I'm not sure if that's a part of the official file or whatever, but that's the map.
it's in the minutes. And that was a condition, so.
Where you see.
Yeah.
This is gravel driveway, it paved private road. So it's dated 10/3/23, probably all dated. It's qualified.
The 25th, 10/25 is when the hearing was. And then the second one's November. So it sounds like December 5th would have been after the second.
Which is where we called out the right of way change, the barn.
Right. So the barn is, on this one is still too close. So now they changed that.
And we moved the double down.
They can take the note out, but the minutes, it is a condition, so.
Right.
Okay.
And their. Whoever enforces that will go up and look. It's a little grade. Somebody's gotta.
Every now
Have down by a fancy tool.
Yeah, I get my level out.
I'll lend you my little site level, and then you pace it off.
Yeah. I've got a total station. I would donate to it. I still don't think that gives us the authority to do any of that kind of surveying.
Probably do it with your cell phone. Yeah, elevations.
I'm sure.
There's even a date on this letter.
This one, the newest one, was June. Right here. The one that everything was.
Same as the mile.
No.
All right, Mylar still has this line here. That's,
Yeah.
use this thing.
This one still has the line too, but the Mylar isn't the same,
This Mylar isn't the same as this.
right, because that's December 5th. This thing is the newest one right here.
This one's also December 5th.
Yeah, they all say December 5th.
I got 6/4/24. Oh, revised right there.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this one here, which is different, oh no, is the same as that.
Yeah,
6/4/24. But again, this doesn't reflect.
so really, Tom, I guess the only thing you need to communicate to them at this point, since we have in our minutes, the conditions. That the only thing on the Mylar that we need to see gone is that line, right? Everything else.
If they don't have to put the conditions on.
Right. I think they just have to get rid of that one line right there.
They can leave all the shading and crap.
Yes, I mean, I can,
They should have to define that if they're gonna leave it
It
in
looks
there.
like a separate lot to me. I'm totally confused.
Well, once they get rid of that line, it won't, I don't think it'll be quite as confusing. Once they get rid of that column, it won't look like its own individual lot.
is it grass right now or something?
They should define it in, in the legend.
Right.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
what that
If
is.
they wanna leave the shading, they gotta call out what it is.
Or label it right there, like they did with the pond easement.
Right.
So I guess those two things.
They're gonna say, and that would be bullet point, what is that, 2, 3 on the last minutes?
Yeah, access to 3 gets lost in the shaded area. Okay. Those are the unmet conditions.
Yeah, because they have in the corner pins.
Shaded and setback to the barn.
Okay.
Here they have pins, here they have setbacks, so it's. Yeah, that dotted line in the shaded area to define what that is.
They don't have to take the shaded area out, just define it. Take it out.
Okay, don't take it out anyway. And well, at this point, he might be going over his 180 to the limit anyway.
They have, well, it'd be November 29th, right? Isn't that one? Let's stay on that paper.
We never changed his, well, we did change his date.
Well, conditional
Oh,
approval was the October 25th.
right.
So does that become official some minutes?
It's what?
Does that become official when we sign the minutes or
No, it becomes official
during the meeting?
that night of the hearing when you agree to it. Could be well past 180 days at this point.
That would have been in April, right?
April 22nd.
Yeah,
So what does that mean?
we just null and void.
But somewhere haven't I read that any failure, oh no, because we did render a decision, they never mind.
You are right, though. If we fail, then
It's just a yes.
Yeah.
We didn't fail, we gave them conditions, they didn't meet them, now they need to reapply, which means a new application fee.
what's the fee?
What's the fee?
Yeah.
Now it's $130.
Have we waived that
It used to
previously?
be like 50.
I remember one of my first couple of meetings, I feel like we waived that for Wolcott, I think.
There's probably a reason. Oh, because she didn't have to have a.
Right, yeah,
Right.
okay, all right, so at least I remember the process.
$130, what's that?
If you're gonna pave the whole road, not much.
It costs over $100 if it's a one inch paper, that's what it would be.
Well, I don't know, just let them know that's the case.
You wanna give them a shot, put it in this month, or hold your peace, or?
Yeah, that's what I tell them, Tom, say, you know, we're past the period, you know, that is $130, and if they cry, then. You can deal with it. They may just say, okay, fine, you know,
Yeah,
and then we can talk about, you know, maybe putting.
I'm pretty down subdivision anyway.
Ron, you get up there, see what's going on. Because they continue with all of the work, anyway.
Last time I drove by, they were working on the house, but I haven't seen the groundwork up there since full power.
So this is. Planning commission.
So, all right, so that's,
Already have it.
that's your sign minutes, Tom, I don't know what you want to do with that. Does this thing goes with this pile right there? And then this, John Trace.
John, he owes us $50.
Yeah, you can, still recording. I'm still recording.
Motion to adjourn.
No, this is Spiel.
We have a second,
I'll second.
all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. 7:00.
The one coming up next month